Hi everyone, it's Rena. So we're doing a video on a new hairstyle. It's gonna be a beanie. Wow, can't speak English. Beanie with like little pom-pom esque looking pigtails. Let me see if I can find you a picture of what I'm trying to get at. Hold up. All right, yeah. So something kind of like this, but I'm gonna make it curly hair friendly though. You can follow along with if you don't have curly hair, like you're not going with curly hair, but something like this kind of style. But then I'm gonna add also a beanie, and we'll see how that looks. So let's get started. All right, so I think the easiest way to start, as you can see, I really didn't do much for the base model character. I will finish modeling the face after, but I will edit the rest of that later after I finish the hair. So the hair. Let's start with the beanie. So we begin by creating a freehand group. You're gonna try to keep the points really close to the skull. It's probably easier if you just do mirroring at this point, because then if you move one section, it all moves together as unison. And you don't really need a high height, so we're going to decrease this all the way down to 1, a value of 1, because we don't really need all that. I'm just going to bring that in like so. Awesome, nothing's clipping, good, beautiful. Now that we have that done, we are going to draw a little halo ring around the head, so you can still keep on mirroring because it's probably just easier that way. We're going to start from hopefully the middle and work our way around the head. You don't have to do too many points. Even a smaller one probably work. I think this is good enough as length, because when you start to edit the features, let's do that. Let's edit the features. All same line, extra thick band. Don't have to worry about it. Know if it's even or not. Perfect. We're gonna do the same for the other side. Cool. So now we're gonna go into here. We're gonna pull this all the way until these two ends meet. And then we're gonna pull this one here. This is where you're gonna start to shape your beanie structure. Yeah, so if you want to, you can change around some features so it's not like super thick. You can obviously go into here, change the thickness so it's not as a wide band. Just try to make sure you have the same values. So we have a 40. Cool. You don't want it to be too thick, wide. And then the thickness as well, we're just going to decrease that a little. It's about like 20. Let's do 25. I could just type it in, but I'm lazy. 25. All right. So we have the base of our beanie, and if you have not seen that video before, that's totally fine, where I created a beanie like this before. We are going to show you how to do it now. Okay, now that we have a base, I'm going to make another freehand group just in case I don't, so that way if I move things around, I don't have to worry about messing up this original layer. I had clicked on this one, so it's kind of on the same spectrum of a scale, so I don't have to change the scale too much. I can turn off mirroring, bring this in. So we want it to kind of fold into the lining of our base structure. And then you can turn back on mirroring when you're ready to actually draw. We're just gonna create a new coloring. We're gonna make this like a purpley color just for the fun of it. Just so that way we can kind of distinguish the two before you actually start drawing, you want to have an anchor point and where you want all your points to start. And as well, change your hair. Not this one, there it is. I was already in the right spot. Change them all just to be like this. It will save you a lot of time and effort. So we're just gonna make a little spot here. Cool, right? Awesome. Very ugly block look. Okay, so this is where you're gonna have all the hairs attached from. We're gonna do one going down and then one going up. I know it's not straight. And then you can do your mirroring from this point, and you can hide this point if you really want to, if you wish to. So just go to like that. And yeah, so you can begin kind of connecting the points to the spot. It's gonna vary in structure and size, so have fun with that. Obviously right now it doesn't look like so much of a hat because we haven't actually drawn in any of the hat-like features. Really, that's pretty much all there is to that one. It kind of just looks like she has a headband on and she has like a bowl haircut. So let's go into textures and then now we're going to add in our little X's. Just go back to this guy. Make it nice and small. Keep in mind I'm using a drawing tablet. Okay, I actually have like something that's stitched right in front of me, so I will kind of mimic that look. To do your knitted look on a different layer, just to play it safe, so that way if anything happens you can erase. And I'm doing this all in gray, just because I plan on using the color scheme in Vroid. You can definitely color it however you want if you have like a design in mind, and kind of just do it that way. You can also save yourself a lot of time if you make it a bit bigger. So let's say if we did it like this. Okay, so ideally you would want to do the whole thing on both sides and try to keep it even. The reason why is so whenever you are editing it, let's say you wanted this to not really stay in sync from this point to this point. So for example, you want the mesh to meet up. Let's click on one. And we're going to go into changing the width of it. See, well, now you have this empty space and it doesn't look right. Or let's say, ooh, you want to bring them really stretched or really close together, like something like that. You need to make sure that you have drawn them that is fine and you're okay with. And then, or if you're changing the offset, it's like let's say I want to try to match these with that one. So with their repeating pattern. Well, now if I haven't finished it, it doesn't look right, right? But anyways, that's pretty much why you want to change that around. But that's not the main reason we are doing this. We are trying to create this hat to make a fun hairstyle. So let's do the fun hairstyle component. Okay, so we're gonna make the little pom-pom hairstyle like I was talking about earlier. So let's do that. We're gonna create a freehand group. Let's start off with it going like so. So we're gonna try to, excuse me, come down this way. So we want it to make it look like it's coming out from back here, right? So come out like this, and then we're gonna have it come out like that. But we want there to be volume on the sides. Cool. And you don't have to have this hairstyle just being like pom-poms. You can do this hat and then put it onto any character hairstyle you have or you want to create. So let us create a new hair texture. I'm gonna click on the hair texture here, materials, duplicate, click on that one. We need to go into the drawing setting. Click on that new hair texture you just made, and we're gonna make sure that it's on that one. So let's import some new hair. Because I already have this hair texture being colored, I'm just gonna change it to be like that. Okay, now we're gonna go back onto design. So this hair has little pom-poms. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be a little bit of a tedious hairstyle, so like this. I forgot to change the structural component. Undo. So we're gonna bring this down like so. We're gonna work in strands of 3s, okay? It'll save yourself a lot of time if you're only working with 3 hairs. Okay, so we're gonna make this look like it has volume, right? So we need to click on this mesh, bring this in. So we're gonna be working with a few different meshes. Keep in mind, this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm trying this out for myself as well. I just really want to see how you can make this, but in a feasible manner. Okay. I kind of like how that's kind of fall like that. I'm gonna have one that goes that way and then the other one. Okay. Let me just kind of remap this. So you want them to look a little roundish. So let's pull this down. Bring that there. So now we are going to put another, well, I had the pen, stylus, the right direction. Okay. And do it again. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to play around with the structural component again. So we're going to only do one side at a time for this one. Technically, you can do a mirroring if you just want them to kind of fall behind her head. And you want them to have the same structural component. Because I want the 2 pigtails, like one to go behind her head, one to kind of go and fall in front, I'm gonna do it 2 different ways. So no, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna make this one a little bigger. So it kind of looks like that. Let's fix this one over here. How's it looking from the front? So she has like little puffs like that. Obviously, you can add some more volume, but we got the first section going. Okay, and then gonna add 1, 2, 3. So let's create another freehand group. We are going to pull this one all the way down. Pull this one here, there, one there, and then one up here. Oops. Okay, so I want to do the opposite of what this one's doing. So I brought down more points than I had started with on the first time doing this. So you want this to go in, but then puff out. Correct? Once again, we're only doing the 3 strands. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So now there is a bit of volume to her hair. So now we're just going to play around with these points. So now we're going to try a similar component, but on the opposite side. And I want it to come over her shoulder. So let's do that now. We're going to start with a freehand group. So we want it to go in the front of our head. That's going to be a little harder. Okay. This whole time I've been blocking everything. I'm going to be up here. So you can see what values I'm putting. Why you guys never tell me this? I'm blocking everything. Jeez. Always just sit there silently watching. It's not creepy at all. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So I'm going to zoom in real close so I can see where it's coming out. That maybe? Okay, we'll try that, see what we get. We might have to use a few different mesh for this side, so let's do this. Just draw her in. Hi, okay, so this is voice over time. I just wanted to save us both some time, and so I'm going to explain what's going on here. So here I'm just trying to add another hair, I forgot what this is called, hair mesh, and then we are going to use this to kind of add more volume, just like we did on the other side with the other 3 pom-poms there. So we did the over-under kind of look, so on the top part we have it the outer part of the pom-poms coming over that original drawing, and then the second part is coming under, and then we are going to add an additional mesh just to get it over the shoulder because we can't get from there. Right, and then the last one we're going to make it come over this way, so we're just going to use a whole other freehand group because we're just going to save ourselves the questioning of how to make that align properly. Alright, so now we're just dragging that mesh down and then trying to add in that little remaining section here. Basically just do the same concept, just you're pulling it forward, basically drawing a little cookie onto her shoulder and then draw another cookie on top of that first original cookie. That's kind of what it looks like. Alright, so she got her little Spinelli hairstyle. Okay, so let me show you how to do the bone working for this, so that way you know what that should actually technically look like. So basically, if you're doing this one side, you want this all to move in unison, because it would look really weird if they weren't. Cool. And then we're going to press Create Bone Group. You can have it being 3, and then kind of position it in a framing of each thing, like each bulge, depending on how many you made. We'll try that and see what that would look like. And then we're going to do the same with this side. And this is why we worked in 3s, to save our butt from having to do so much work. Okay, once again, since we only have 3 puffs, I'm going to put it at this 3, increase the length. There we go. See what that looks like when she's walking. There we go. Let's finish off the outer rim of her hair. Let's go back into the hair editor. Alright, in this scene we are creating a new baseline. So the purpose of this baseline is to eliminate the use of baby hairs. So we are just following the original structure that it came with, and then using your own hair texture, we'll just fill that in. You can fill in the original baseline with your own hair textures, but I just chose to do it this way just so it blends more accurately to what I'm trying to create. Okay, so now that that's done, we shall take a look and see what the final result will be after I just do some finishing touches to like the character's face. But just for that, that's pretty much it. Alright, so that's kind of what she would look like with the 2 pom-poms and a beanie. Yeah, then you can just kind of just make sure that there's no gapping in between. So like how this is like technically an error. Should not be a spacing. And then just play around with the structural component of your beanie. There you go. We have a very voluptuous 3 pumps, 3 pom-pom looking pigtails. Kind of like how I was trying to show you in that one image. And that's pretty much it for this hairstyle. If there's any other questions or anything. Oh, I guess one thing you'd probably want to address is the baby hairs. We did put this in the placement for it. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much how you make that. I hope that this has helped you in some way or form or fashion. If you were looking for either how to create your own beanies, or if you were trying to just try the different hairstyles. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye!